Hi guys, I'm Shaft of the Clinic Casting Crew. This is IEM8 Cologne. We are in game number 5 of a best of 5, so it is game point for both players in this Zerg vs Protoss on Yansu. My co-caster tonight is none other than ZLC's Tyrannus, and our observer streamer tonight is PMS's very own Drew Universe. In the top right-hand corner, we have in the red Zerg trunks, Evil Geniuses, Tyrant JaeDong. And here in the bottom left-hand side of the map, representing Team Liquid, and going for a Gateway First expand, it looks like, it's the Blue Brotos Hero! So Carson, Yansu, really small, really tight map. Are we seeing a gateway attack, or what would you do in this situation?
Well, the biggest strategy that people have trouble with, especially on ladder that I've talked to, are just Sentry Immortal Lings on this map, or any sort of attack that is heavy Sentry, because of chokes like the one right outside of, or the ones above the third near the watchtowers. It's just so hard to be able to break positions like that when you can't get your army through it.
Gotcha. Well, there is the Cyber Core. This is a really interesting map. Even with it being a gateway first build and JaeDong scouting it, he is going for 3 hatches very, very quickly. This is not what you normally see against a gateway expand.
No, it's not. Usually what you see against a gate expand is like what JaeDong did on Habitation Station, where it was 15 hatch, 16 gas, 15 pool, get the Zergling speed. But it looks like he's being extremely greedy this time, getting the gas before the pool. So he must really know Hero's playstyle in order to take such a big risk.
Yeah, well, Hero, not really one known to like do proxy 2-gate or anything like that, and really not someone to try to harass with 4 gates. He really likes his Stargate tech. He really likes transitioning into Colossi after that. So unless he does Blink Stalker timing, that's really all you see out of Hero.
Yeah, last game when he saw this, he did do a 4-gate pressure, but JaeDong held it off really well, so he may not be thinking of doing the same thing. He might think, oh, okay, it's my chance to tech really hard and try and punish him later, or hit a chase timing as fast as possible.
Well, I still kind of expect him to try to play the map, though, because that is something Hero's known for. He has different builds for different maps, and just curious to see what he's going to throw at us now. JaeDong, of course, working on some extra Lings. He's getting a little bit of a later speed, so he's got to get the Lings out to make sure that there is no proxy pylons that could ultimately end this. Because Hero could break away from his typical style and still throw some kind of early aggression at him that JaeDong might not be ready for. So these Lings going to help him.
Yeah, right now. Oh, sorry. I was going to say right now it actually looks like the Hero's actually going for the same type of 4-gate pressure with the 3 gateways coming up right now. So with the pylon going down.
Yeah, the Mothership Core taking some shots from the Queen, but doing a little harassment. Did he get any worker kills there? It looks like he did get 1 worker kill. And he's forced 14 more Lings, so even if this attack does nothing, just forcing the Lings instead of drones has already put Hero 5 workers ahead.
Yes, definitely. JaeDong should be surpassing Hero, or in the middle of surpassing Hero at this point in the game, drone-wise, but instead he is actually quite far behind, only 1, but that's a lot for this stage of the game.
Right, and the Sentry actually gonna fall. Yes, it does fall to the Lings. Ling speed definitely coming in, but another Sentry managing to force field that ramp and not letting the Lings in.
Yeah, the problem this time that I really see for JaeDong is that he doesn't actually have a Roach Ward like he did last game, or any Spines. So these Zealots are actually going to start doing work against his Speedling numbers.
Yeah, and again, those Speedlings are so larva intensive. He has got to stop this attack, and he's got to stop it quick. He's got a good surround on these Zealots, but there are reinforcements coming in as well, and the reinforcements should clean up the rest of these Lings.
Yeah, JaeDong had a really nice engagement there, sectioning off those 4 Zealots before the extra 4 warped in, giving him a better chance. But if he wants to have any more chances in this game, he needs to take out that pylon before more Zealots come in.
Yeah, and he's just having a hard time doing that at this point. The Zealots keep coming in, and every time that forces him to unfocus the pylon and focus more on the Zealots. But it looks like this final engagement is going to take care of that.
Yeah, the big problem there for JaeDong was, as you said before, that Lings are super duper larva intensive. So instead of being his normal 50 drones, 60 drones at this point in the game like he normally is, he's only
Half that.
at like 30.
Yeah. Well, we've still got another pylon here, forcing more warp-ins. Mothership Core has to be careful to stay out of range of that Queen. That Queen making a huge difference in these engagements, and ultimately going to knock down the second pylon as well. Hero does have a Robo. He is working on Immortals. So is he going for the Zealot Immortal again, or is this going to be a different build?
It's looking like, since he did take all 3 gases, it's looking like it'll actually be sort of a weird version of Sentry Immortal, but sort of a Zealot heavy is my guess. It does look like he is actually going for an Immortal attack with 2 queued up right now. He doesn't look like he has any intentions of taking a 3rd. So, and as you said before, with playing to the map, it would lead me to believe that he's going Sentry Immortal.
Okay. Well, we will find out. Now, JaeDong is being careful to knock these rocks down. This will make his reinforcements arrive a lot quicker in the case of any further pressure from the Protoss.
Yeah, definitely, especially if the Protoss decides to engage above his 3rd.
That's a really common attack point. Now, we were talking about the bottom left being a huge attack zone, but I feel like with the Protoss being in the bottom left here, it's mostly just going to be that left-hand flank, especially going into the 3rd of JaeDong.
Yeah, JaeDong is actually in any position to attack Hero, especially since he has only got a few 15 Lings and a few Roaches that don't even have speed yet. And with Hero going for this kind of attack, it'd be suicide.
Yeah. Well, he does have a small counterattack squad. Do you think this is going to be mostly to buy himself time, or is he trying to do damage here?
A little of both. I think he's really desperate at this point, seeing the push coming and being so far behind with such small units compared to what Hero has after taking so much damage early on.
Gotcha. Well, here goes the main attack. Hero moving off top of this ramp right above the 3rd, as we predicted. Several pylons going down as well. He's also got a Warp Prism. It's the Immortal Sentry that we were fearing. Does JaeDong have enough to hold this, Carson?
It doesn't actually look like it unless he gets some sort of amazing surround, which is what he's looking to do with these little 2 attack squads. But the force fields in this kind of position are just so good. Like, he needs to focus those Immortals if he has any chance.
Well, he is focusing on the Immortals with a small squad in the back, but he's not attacking from the front with anything but other than the Lings. He has missed his timing on his little flank here. This, again, not looking good for our Evil Geniuses player. But he's got a lot of Roaches here. He is moving up the ramp. There's the force fields you were talking about. Mothership Core falling to some Queens. There it goes. It pops. And that could actually be terrible for our Protoss. The Time Warp is really the backbone of this composition. Warp Prism still staying alive, though, and that is going to allow for more warp-ins. He is being careful to pick up the Immortals as they are being focused, and there goes 5 Zealots and 2 Sentries warping in. JaeDong staying on top of his injects. Those are so clutch in the situation. Hero actually banking a little bit on the mineral count. He could actually afford a couple more gateways. Now we've got Roachling swinging in here trying to either surround this. No, he's going for a counterattack. So while all this is happening, he is going to put a clock on LiquidHerO.
Yeah, the great part about that engagement right there for LiquidHerO was that he was able to keep both of those Immortals alive, and while still killing groups of Roaches for basically free with those nice force fields, and the fact that he caught onto the little flank that JaeDong was trying to put on Hero there.
Well, he is burrowing these spine crawlers a little bit too forward, though. They are taking some shots, but the Roach is buying some time for them as well. One spine crawler too far back, the other one not quite burrowed in time. He is not... Oh, there we go. He's getting one of the Sentries. Oh, let's focus it. There we go. He has got the Sentry, but he does not have that many units here. Currently, the units count is 21 Lings, 13 Roaches, compared to 6 Sentries, 10 Stalkers, 2 Immortals. Units lost tab, Shift L, 155 Lings have been lost, 42 Roaches.
Yeah, the amazing part about this game to me is look at how Hero keeps his Immortals alive. Like, are in the front whatsoever. He picks them up with the Warp Prism, drops them in the back. That's the reason why this is working right now, is because of his impeccable micro.
Yeah. Well, we've still got a pretty nice defense here for JaeDong. It looks like he may have fended off this pressure, but he's taken a huge amount of damage in doing so.
Yeah, he if he can hold this off, he'll be in a pretty good position, being on 52 drones, having his third base up, and Hero not macroing behind this whatsoever. But Hero still got all of his Immortals alive, but JaeDong did take out all of the gateway units, making those Immortals completely naked.
The problem with Gosu Micro is it usually results in a lack of macro, and we are definitely seeing this in Hero. He did commit to this all in, so his minerals are a lot higher than his gas. He never did follow up with an extra gas, and he's trying to make this attack work, but what's his transition from here?
There is really no transition plan. He was going all in with that attack, and he needed it to work. But JaeDong had like one of the best defenses I've ever seen, especially having the first part of that attack not go that great for him.
Mm-hmm.
So Hero at this point needs to hope that he can hold on and transition into some other form of all in, because JaeDong's knocking on his door right now.
Mm-hmm. And we do have a Hydra Den halfway done as well. That's going to make pressure like this even more effective. Now we do have a gateway falling here, so it looks like these roaches can get some of these money units if they so choose, but 5 Zealots being warped in. It's allowing Hero to spend some of this extra mineral bank that he has. Now the roach is being pulled back, but some good force fields going to force the engagement to happen. These roaches trying to swing over here to get the Immortal. Looks like they may do it. The Immortal trying to kite backwards. Another Immortal popping. He is going to force these roaches into the mineral line, using that first attack squad basically as a distraction. He is now going to be able to assault this mineral line, but he is not microing as well as he could, instead choosing to go for the sentries. He lost his positioning advantage. He could have hit some of those probes.
Yeah, he definitely could have. He did end up killing an Immortal and 2 sentries with that attack, but I would not say that a counterattack was worth it, especially because now Hero, he's not safe, but he feels safer having dealt with the rest of Hero's roach, or with the rest of JaeDong's roaches that could be used to defend the upcoming all-in that has to be following up.
I'm kind of impressed at how even the unit's loss tab is. It's 14,400 loss for JaeDong, 13,762 for Hero. And that is a lot closer than you would expect based on what we've seen with JaeDong losing as many units as he has.
Yeah, what was really nice was the fact that JaeDong was able to get on top of his units when Hero pushed into his natural. That kind of evened it up from like the difference that it was before. But what's really amazing about this attack is that Hero doesn't actually have any upgrades, and neither does JaeDong. So I didn't actually notice that before. Typically when his Sentry Immortals hit, they hit with +1, but since he did it out of a 4-gate pressure, there were no upgrades.
Yeah, that's a pretty good point. Now we do have a Ling counterattack squad. This Zealot not going to be able to defend that, as if he moves out of position, these Lings can swing around. And JaeDong trying to make something like that happen, but he's going to lose these Lings when they almost killed the Forge. His Micro getting a little sloppy, but there's an engagement here at the third, between the third and the natural, and these Hydras a lot of the Hydras have fallen here, and this is a huge attack by Hero. JaeDong losing a lot of units, and he's going to be dependent on these reinforcements and some of these building spine crawlers.
Yeah, this is starting to get really scary for JaeDong here. He got caught off creep with his Hydras, half of his Hydras being in front of the force fields, and there's 5 Immortals here from Hero, so that's a lot of damage. With half of his roaches not even being able to attack because of the force fields, I think the tables have turned again.
Yeah, it's like an onion when you're dealing with force fields. You just peel one layer of the army, peel another layer, peel a third layer, and ultimately whittle it down to nothing. Zerg really needs those overwhelming
actually
numbers.
shelling at this. Yeah, exactly. The Hero's actually shelling away at this third now, and JaeDong can do nothing about it while these sentries sit here and gain more mana, and they'll be ready for another round of force fields soon.
Mana? What is this, Warcraft 3?
I'm sorry, I've been playing a lot more Dota and League of Legends and lately. I've started to get into those. I still don't like them that much, but
gotcha. Well,
they're okay.
We've got Hero taking this Zanaga Tower temporarily, trying to reposition himself for an attack into the natural. Spinecrawler's in a great position. One being forced to burrow again, though. Good counterattacks hitting from all angles. He's got a complete circle around Hero's units. If he is going to be able to make something happen, it's with an attack like this.
And Hero's probe pull here. Probably a little bit of showboating he knows that he's won this. He knows that JaeDong has no other options and that he's on his last foot.
Yeah. Hero, a very emotional player. When things go bad for him, they go very bad. When things go well for him, he loves to gloat about it.
Yeah, I don't see JaeDong being able to hold this off with the last Warpin and push up the natural. He's still got that spine, he's still got 7 Hydras, but he's got so many Stalkers, and he's still got 3 Immortals.
You know, there's a big rivalry here we haven't discussed as well. Evil Geniuses versus Team Liquid.
Yeah, these guys were actually teammates a lot when they were doing Pro League, so I'm sure they practiced a lot together, so probably a little beef between them, friendly.
Yeah, friendly beef. Yeah. It's like Team Liquid's the good guys, Evil Geniuses, of course, the bad guys. Well, Hero just cleaning up JaeDong's forces. JaeDong knows this is IEM best of 5. It's game number 4, or game number 5, I'm sorry. So if he forfeits this, it's over for him. But he's holding on, just barely, but holding.
Yeah, even with that probe pulled, Hero's still got 1 base saturation, which is as much as he needs, so it's still not over even after this attack.
Yeah, and the thing is, there are 16 more drones than probes.
Oh, there are, yeah.
Yeah.
But
so
JaeDong also doesn't have a 3rd.
Right.
And half of his drones are actually over here not mining. They could be helping in this battle.
It's a little bit rough for him here. Roaches and Hydras getting peeled away again by these force fields, but he's doing a good job just keeping units out of range when the force fields do occur and baiting out some of the energy from the sentries. And here we go, big drone pull. Good force field's gonna force these drones through narrow passages, harder to get a concave, and some good kiting here by Hero. He is known for his kiting, and these drones getting sacrificed. He's now 6 drones down. Oh my god, this is it. JaeDong just got a nail in his coffin.
Yeah, JaeDong, like that one engagement where he took it right outside of his 3rd off creep with the Hydras. No Hydra speed, no Hydra range. It completely lost him the game.
Yeah, and he was in a winning position from before that, but not any longer. He's about to lose his only seriously mining base. He is down to 16 workers, and they are on the 3rd, not at his natural or his main. Ouch.
Yeah, the closeness of this game, I've never seen a Sentry Immortal game last so long with, like, just because both players had such great micro and...
26-minute Immortal Sentry all in.
Yeah, the standard.
Yeah, completely, man. Well, Roachborn is going to be a victim of Hero's showboating, and JaeDong, it's time to sap out, buddy.
Yeah, here JaeDong probably really disappointed right now, knowing that he probably rethinking all of the things that he could have done better that game.
Yeah, sometimes players get so caught up in their head they forget to GG and leave. Actually, I remember one time at MLG Raleigh, he was on Team Dust at the time, but Gravity's Beast was playing against another Terran, and they were like sitting across from each other on the keyboard. Like, you know, one computer was here, one was here, they were facing each other, but Beast didn't notice it. But the last 3 minutes of the game, the guy had completely stopped microing and macroing, and had just put his head down on the keyboard and started crying for 3 minutes without leaving, without GGing. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was rough. And Beast was sitting there splitting. Like, if you know anything about Beast, he has amazing Marine splits, or at least he did back then. And he was sitting there splitting his units up against all these Hellions. His opponent was going mech against Hellions and tanks and just microing the hell out of it. And his opponent literally was just face down on the keyboard crying.
Oh, wow. That's rough. Yeah. That reminds me of when Deer versus JaeDong. I forgot what tournament it was exactly, but JaeDong was able to hold Deer's 7-gate, I think it was, on what's that, Akalon Wastes, with the Burrow Roaches, and Deer like puts his head into his hands, just like so devastated.
Yeah.
It can get really
emotional,
really crazy.
Yeah. Well, guys, this was IEM8 Cologne rebroadcast. I'm Shaft of the Clinic Casting Crew. If you like this and want to check out other videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Link will be in the underneath this video. You can also follow me on Twitter at the Only Shaft. Please check out Drew Universe's clan, pmsclan.com. You can also check Tyrannus out at his twitch.tv. That is Tyrannus96 at Twitch. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It has been a pleasure. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.